On Saturday, we witnessed a complete game under center by Christian Anderson. Let's assume that Tyre is available on Saturday against UConn. Do you go with Anderson for 4 quarters? Does the game dictate how you utilize the quarterbacks, or are you looking to share?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the plan all along. We'll just have to see how Tyre progresses during the week. I thought Christian played excellent as he did in the first game. Thought Tyre played excellent in the first game as well. So we'll just see how Tyre progresses as the week goes on. He's doing much better. We anticipate both of them playing.
Great. And clearly, well, not clearly, but in my opinion, this year's offense has real upside when it comes to overall speed at the skill positions. However, the flip side of that is you have tons of power at the B-back positions. Hence, a combination of those two entities, I guess, is a defensive coordinator's nightmare. That being said, are you now able to do things offensively, perhaps more so than you were in previous years?
Well, we talked about last year just how we had 5 different guys, play quarterback in games. And so we had a tough time getting in a rhythm, getting snaps, things like that. So we were very close to the best, and we really made it a goal to, become more of an option team, to run more execution plays. Coach Worley's done an outstanding job with the quarterbacks, just getting multiple guys ready that are very functional and have a great understanding of the offense and that we have a lot of trust in. And so we feel comfortable being able to be more of an option team, and that's what we want to do. And it fits our players. It allows us to get the ball on the perimeter a little bit more, which we weren't able to do last year. So hopefully that'll continue.
Great. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Sir.
Hey, Coach Ken Kreitzer. Hope you're doing well.
Again, you too.
Thank you. Hey, I noticed looking at the stats from Saturday that there seemed to be more distribution of the ball to the slot backs. I think you got 14 carries by the slot backs rushing, and then you got 3 passes out to 1 to Murphy, Walters, and Robinson all got 1 each. Did you feel good about being able to get the ball to the slot backs, getting the ball out to the perimeter a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are guys that can make plays with the ball. We've got some guys that can run. And sometimes when you get the ball on the perimeter, those can be explosive plays. They also take more execution. I thought our guys did an excellent job of blocking for one another out on the perimeter. I was really excited about that. Hope that continues to get better as we go. During the season, we've worked really hard on it. As far as the distribution, I mean, that's something that sometimes the defense can dictate a little bit. And then there's certain plays we can call maybe that definitely are designed to go outside. That sometimes on option plays, the defense will dictate that. Depends on how they're playing. And if they're trying to stop the fullback, a lot of times the ball can get spit out to the perimeter. That's what happened last weekend. And so we're fortunate to execute some plays out there, and we had some big plays.
Just ask you about the offensive line, given that Connor Bishop may be out for a while. What are the adjustments? I know you have Noah Knapp to move over to center, but how does that affect the line, the teamwork in the line, the other adjustments that you have to make?
Yeah, well, it's like losing 2 guys, when you lose Connor, because then you also move a starting guard into center. So you're really taking 2 starters and shuffling around. So we'll look a little bit different, but I thought Noah Knapp didn't flinch. He stepped up, did an awesome job. Even shotgun snaps, on plays that he hadn't had a lot of reps at center. He did a phenomenal job on. And so we feel really comfortable with him there. He's embraced it. He's ready to roll.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ken.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Doing well.
Hey, so Army's leading the nation in passing efficiency. How much more confidence is there in the players and yourself in calling those plays this season in the first 2 games?
Yeah, well, it's something that I think fits us. It goes along with getting the ball in the perimeter more, running execution plays. And when you run more execution plays, you see more support in the secondary. And when you see more support in the secondary, then you have an opportunity to hit play action passes. And that's what I think we've been able to do. Honestly, I mean, that's a goal of ours. We want to lead the country in passing efficiency, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, no, on the opening drive, you had a 3rd and in Western Kentucky territory. And most of the time we're thinking fullback dive or keep, and you guys went through the air. Does that really show kind of how the passing game's kind of maturing a little bit, or little bit better than it was in the past, or?
Yeah, probably maybe a little more comfortability with it, but it's also the analytics. I mean, you have another down if you don't, complete that ball. So, you just hope that the quarterback will be smart with it and throw it away and not take a sack, and unfortunately we did take another one in a similar situation later on. And we were able to convert, but that was, I think maybe it was second down and short, but it was, you have to take some risks and our guys are doing a great job of executing those plays right now.
Hey, Brent, Ken McMillan.
Hey, Ken.
Can you give us an update on what the injury situation looks like with the offense? People like Connor and Sean Eckert and, well, that would be two to start, Tyson Riley.
Yeah, those guys are all working hard to get back in. I'll let Coach Monken handle the updates on injuries.
How difficult does it make it for you to prepare, not knowing until maybe later in the week whether these guys are available or not?
Yeah, we always try to prepare as many guys as we can that are gonna dress out. It's just hard to get them the reps to go around because we don't want to practice for 3 hours. So yeah, that is a challenge, but that's no different than any other week. You have somebody get hurt in a game, and maybe the third guy didn't get as many reps or something, but all the guys on the second group are one play away, and Coach Morgan talked about that after practice today, and so we've got to continue to develop depth throughout our offense, and that's a big emphasis, over the next couple of weeks for sure.
With those shift of positions on the offensive line, at the time during the game, how comfortable did you feel, and do you think they pulled it off well to your satisfaction?
Yeah, I felt really good about it. You're worried about Connor when he gets hurt, and so that's in the back of your mind a little bit. But you got to call the next play and get your guys ready to go and make adjustments. So it's not something you dwell on. We had confidence in Noah. Coach Tuatelli has been doing a great job of making sure he gets reps in practice at center. And we've been resting Connor in certain periods. So it wasn't something that hadn't occurred before. We rep Noah on a series of plays and scrimmages in camp. So it wasn't like it was a situation that hadn't occurred before. So matter of fact, in the first game, Connor cramped up, Noah went in as well. So nobody felt any differently in that huddle or on our offense, I don't think.
If you were just replacing injured player A with backup B, that's one thing. But then you also had to shift another position up there to compensate. Does that make it a little more complicated for you, or?
Yeah, for sure, Ken. That's what I was saying a little earlier. It's like losing 2 starters when you lose Connor, and then you have to, displace another starter from guard into center, and then slide another guy who's a backup up into a starting position. So you really end up starting 2 guys that were backups, for certain positions. But that's part of it, and we'll continue to hope Connor can get back as soon as possible. And I know he's a tough kid. He'll be back the minute he has a chance to be back. So, and all those other guys are excited about stepping up in his absence.
But this is, as you say, you're going with your best players. So it was better to slide 2 people over as opposed to.
Right. Yeah. We always try to do that, Ken. The center position's a little bit different in that regard. Not everybody can play center, but we're going to try to make sure we put our best 5 out there to start with, and then as many others as we can get into the game that we feel like are ready to help us win and produce. And we're adding to that number every week, I think.
Sure. And then just one question on UConn coming up. What kind of challenges will the Huskies present you?
Yeah, well, we have no idea how they're going to play us, for one thing. So it's a very you never when you don't know, you try to kind of keep things simple and focus on your execution, and then maybe adjust during the game. So that'll be a good challenge for our guys. And I think that they definitely are a team that has something to prove, and we're certainly excited about an opportunity to play in Mikey Stadium again. It's one of our guys' 6 opportunities this year. I told him, last year's group got 8, and you guys are only getting 6. So, we got to be ready to go.
Thanks, Brett.
We'll do a few more for Coach. We have any others?
Brent, are there any other
Coach.
offensive players coming along that you care to speak about as far as moving up the chart? Somebody who's kind of impressed you in the last week or so?
It's really up front. We've got some guys that are just now starting to get closer to playing. I think Sam Barzak has done some good things in practice, and it needs to continue to work to be more consistent. Jackson Filipowicz is coming along as a center. That position takes a little bit longer to play. Just to get ready, especially with the defenses that we've seen, and playing against odd front, 0 noses. So we're working to develop a lot of guys. It's not just those 2, but those are just 2 guys that kind of came to mind.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach, I just want to ask you on the left guard position, as you move Noah Knapp over to center, who might be players that would fill that role?
Yeah, so Zach Ward came in and played really well. I think he played 51 snaps last week, and he had 12 knockdowns, I think. So he did some good things. He's a senior that we moved to from tackle to guard, I guess, probably about 4 weeks ago, maybe 3. Yeah, I guess it's 4 now. And was a great move for him. It's Coach Tuatelli's idea, and he's really, being in space kind of wasn't his thing as much, but being in that guard box, he's been able to play fast, and he's gained a lot more confidence. So excited about him continuing to improve.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.